So, Boris Johnson calls for Ukraine to host Euro 2028, despite the UK Ireland bid. This is reported in The Guardian here. Boris Johnson has described Russian plans to host the 2028 Men's European Championship as beyond satire. So this is the news that Russia has put in a bid to host Euro 2028. And Boris Johnson has spoken against it, saying maybe Ukraine should host it, in spite of the fact that the UK and Ireland are putting in a bid together. What do you make of this, Declan? What do you think Johnson's trying to achieve here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a slightly odd thing to say, considering the UK status. As you mentioned, the UK and Ireland are putting in a bid for Euro 2028. Of course, you know, if Johnson is genuine and really wants Ukraine to host a tournament, then I think very few people would oppose that. But the timing of this message, I think it was just a day after a tweet went out from his official account saying the government is right behind the UK's bid, just seems a little bit odd. And there have been some people who have pointed out that perhaps it's sort of motivated by something else. Maybe he's trying to get a little bit of more publicity or a little bit more attention to the UK's bid. Obviously, it would be a big thing in the UK. It would also be, you know, a huge thing for Ukraine down the line, and possibly part of the rebuilding process there. So he's got a little bit of flack over this today, and I'm not sure whether it's deserved. I'm not sure whether he's genuinely just said it without really realizing the UK status, or whether there is anything darker or, you know, anything bigger there at play. So yeah, I'm kind of almost giving him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here, but I do understand the people who have criticised him over it.
It's often hard to tell with Boris Johnson, isn't it?
That's the thing, is it's the kind of whole performance that you get of Johnson as Prime Minister. You know, it's been well documented, well found. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, what's your view of it? What do you make of it all?
I think one thing that's worth considering here is that Boris Johnson is deeply unpopular at the UK at this moment in time, in large part because of the whole Partygate scandal. That's definitely a topic for another day. But it's one thing worth really bearing in mind is that he is massively popular in Ukraine at the moment, because he's seen as being one of the most stalwart allies in supporting the military effort in Ukraine from Western nations and from Western liberal democracies. The UK has been providing arms, weaponry for the Ukrainian military, and there's even been reports that as they're firing NLAW, anti-aircraft missiles, that Ukrainian military are shouting "God save the Queen" as they do so. So there's very much a chance that Boris Johnson tried to shore up support in Ukraine here as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, you mentioned Partygate a little bit. I think this is 100% pushed tension away from that. You know, it's still something that people remember, but it's certainly not number one topic on the agenda at the moment. And you're right, Boris Johnson does seem to be very popular in Ukraine at the moment. So it could well be a piece of political posturing, which, you know, if it would be, I suppose, disappointing, because if we're looking at ways that the UK can help Ukraine, as much as it's good to have the support for something like this, but if there's an ulterior motive behind that, then it would be disappointing. I'm not for one second saying that that's 100% what Johnson wanted to do. It could well have just been something he said, and could well have changed his mind of what's happened in the last few weeks. We don't really know. We never will know. But
Boris Johnson's one well known for throwaway comments.
Yeah, that's the thing, and we've got to take that into account with these things that are said. So yeah, I personally, I'm not too critical of him with this.
No, I mean, there are far bigger things to criticize Boris Johnson over than this. What do you reckon, though? Should we be back in Ukraine 2028 for the Euros?
I mean, I think it'd be brilliant. I mean, it's hosted similar tournaments before. I think I forget which year it was when it was shared with Poland. But yeah, it's hosting tournaments. It's got the stadiums. It's got a football crazy nation. I think it'd be brilliant. I just wonder whether it would have the infrastructure. I think depends really how long the Russian invasion goes on for, because we've seen sort of infrastructure being blown to pieces as one of the Russian targets. So there will be a huge rebuilding project if it's done in time. I think it'd be brilliant, and perhaps it could even be part of that. Everyone could go to Ukraine and everyone can sample some of the great things that are in the country. So yeah, I think it'd be brilliant, actually.
Yeah, it'd be great to watch. As much as I'd love to see England host the Euros or even host the World Cup, although that bid's now been scuppered for 2030, it would be a bit of a moment to see Ukraine hosting either the Euros or probably not the World Cup for now, but Euro 2028 Ukraine, let us have it.
Absolutely.